We are live.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I am here live with Peter Page. We're watching episode 414.
That's right.
I'm first going to tell you a little bit about Peter Page. Peter Page.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I was born in West Hartford, Connecticut. I was raised up and down the East Coast. In order, it goes Connecticut, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Alabama, North Carolina for high school, Boston for college, New York, Oregon, LA, Toronto, LA, and that gets us roughly to today, sitting on your couch.
Okay, I want you guys to make a map of that and tag me in it. And tag Peter, obviously. That's pretty impressive, and you obviously, his breast.
It's a part of his breath. You have terrible breath. You're so handsome, and you have bad breath. I dated guys like you before. They were on keto, and they just smelled bad all the time.
I love that so much.
You're so handsome, though. I can't get over it.
Peter has graciously allowed Ford to actually be in the middle of us during this live.
You just belched in my face.
Why would you do that?
That disrespect. The disrespect.
And Peter, how did you get into, so people that don't know, acting and directing?
Right. So I was an actor before I was a writer-director. I decided I wanted to be an actor in first grade. Sorry, when I was 6 years old. I did The Wizard of Oz as our first grade play. I was the Scarecrow. It's very good casting. I remember my family took me out to dinner afterwards. They were like, "You going to be an actor when you grow up?" And I was like, "Hell yes, I am." It's all I ever wanted to do. But the truth is, my real impulse was like, if you came over to my house for a play date, I would make up a play. And I'd be like, you go over here and you say this, and I'll go over here and I'll say this, and we'll perform it for my parents, and we'll charge them $0.25. And
you're already charging too.
I know my value. And
we all need to make a page out of Peter's book.
I don't really. I'm terrible. I'm literally the worst negotiator ever. But I didn't know that was being a writer and a director. I thought that was being a performer.
Okay.
Right, and it sort of was. Now before I'm down, but I don't need your butt.
Not the butt. Come on.
So, and I don't know about you.
Mm-hmm.
You had like this weird child actory life in LA, which is different.
Yeah.
But if you're anywhere else in the world and you tell people you want to be an actor, they're like, "Oh, don't do that. You're smart. There's so much else you could do. It's such a hard life." Mm-hmm. And that just gave me this axe to grind. I was just determined to prove I could succeed. I went to acting school. I'm classically trained. By the way, Kim Raver and I were in the same class at acting school.
That's crazy in small world.
Yes, Teddy, our own Teddy Altman. And I love her dearly. And I was just determined that she would not be the only person who succeeded from our class in acting school. And so I hung in through a really hard decade. When I was about 30, I booked a TV show called Queer as Folk.
I'm sure most people know that show.
Maybe some do. The American remake of Queer as Folk. We did that for 5 years. I was one of the series leads on that. I had an amazing time. But very quickly, once I'd sort of ticked the box, I'm on a hit TV show, you cannot say I failed as an actor, I was like, I want to be a writer-director. I knew. And I began my transition then. Okay. I got a writing partner in 2007. In 2012, we created the show The Fosters, which went on the air, ran for 5 years. That got spun off to a show called Good Trouble, which is still on the air now. I left Good Trouble after a couple of years to come over and help run Station 19.
And we're so grateful. We love having you. There was something that came up there. Your first film, what was it?
My first one was called Say Uncle.
And that you directed, wrote it, and starred in it, correct?
That is correct.
And then you had another one with Drake Borelli, right?
So I've done 3 movies. Okay. There was Say Uncle, Leaving Barstow, which is a movie I'm really proud of and I love that won 6 Best Film Awards on the film festival circuit.
Okay.
And Michelle Clooney stars in it. This kid Kevin Sheridan who wrote it stars in it. He's phenomenal. Ryan Michelle Buffet, which people might know, she's Sterling K. Brown's wife, but she starred in Endgame on NBC.
Okay.
And she was recurred on This Is Us. She was starred in that movie. Dale Dickey, who is actually coming to do our next episode, was in that movie.
Oh. Who's he going to play in the next episode?
Dale Dickey, she's a she.
Oh.
Dale Dickey is, you would recognize her if you see her. You'll be like, oh, Dale Dickey. She's like...
Oh, then I know she's playing the next episode.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
Awesome. Okay. I was like, what male character?
Female.
Yeah.
And then I did The Fosters in Good Trouble, and then I did The Thing About Harry with Jake Borelli and Nico Terho and Greg Barron, who are now on Grey's Anatomy. And Nico is on Grey's Anatomy because of the
Peter Page.
I mean, not because of me, but because of the Thing About Harry, because he's so talented and amazing. Yeah. He had never done anything. It was his first job ever.
That's what I talked to him when I was over there at Gray's for an episode. He was telling me where he's from and his whole start and like how it happened and like doing the thing about Harry and everything. It's crazy. Yeah. And he's such a great guy.
He's such a great guy. Yeah. So
amazing.
And that gets us to roughly
Station 19.
Here we are. Station the 19. The
and I love that.
19.
And why did you choose to do 414?
So interestingly, Krista Vernoff is one of my best friends of 30 years.
Okay.
We went to college together with Kim Raver, with Michael Medico, who's one of our directors, with Ray Ford, who's a really successful actor in town, with Cynthia Watros and Maura West, who have done a lot of soap work, with Kim Raver, with Abraham Higginbotham, who's a wildly successful TV writer in the comedy space. Anyway, Krista called me and said, she's like, will you come direct this episode of Station 19? And I was like, I'm not really a fire director. Like, it's not my brand. Like, I'm a relationship guy. I do character work. Yeah. And she was like, it's not that kind of episode. Just come do it. And I was like, all right. And I'm so glad I did. She was so right. This episode is so special and so dear to me. We had I don't know how you feel, but I had the most amazing time working with you and Stefania, with Jason George playing 5 Jason Georges, with Gray digging him through a dumpster. Like, it was just such a special experience. And I delivered my cut of that episode, and Krista called me and was like, please stay. Please stay. This is the show. This is you get it. I want you to be a part of this world. And so I did. And here we are.
And now what is your role on our show?
I'm one of your executive producers.
He's a boss.
Sometimes.
All the time. But like a cool boss. A good boss. Okay, awesome. We'll start the episode?
By the way,
yes.
If at any point you see me just get up and run out of frame, it is because we are having a crisis at the show right now. Everybody's fine. Don't anybody stress, but we're having an issue with what's shooting tomorrow. So my phone may vibrate and I may have to run out to take a call. That's because I'm an executive producer, and that's the kind of thing you have to do.
And then we'll just pause it and we'll randomly talk about
You'll just keep going. You'll just keep going. You'll just keep going. We can't talk about it. It's going to be a few minutes. I'm just going to step out. It's going to be a few minutes. It's going to be fine.
Okay, what am I doing? Why am I going to click something on the phone? It's the TV. Okay, everybody. Remember how it goes? It's 3, 2, play. I'm not going to keep saying it because I sound like an idiot when I do. So
3, 2, play.
3, 2,
seriously, I was determined to mock you for this. I was like, you never heard of the number 1? Like, you
I
never
suggested one.
Yes, you were shot down. I saw it. I saw it live. 3, 2, play.
But then I was like, if you do 1, then some people go after 1. You know,
which is you're supposed to.
1.
Yes. 3, 2, 1. Take lift off.
Do you want me to do it that way?
No, because now everyone's trained.
We can't change it now.
You can't change it now. This is the last one.
Absolutely not.
You're a chaos agent.
Oh, okay. This is happening. Okay, ready? Oh, and show what you're eating.
I'm eating Grey's Anatomy Lifesaver gummies.
These are from a fan that got sent. Hot tamales are Station 19, and Lifesavers are this Grey's Anatomy cast, and it's really cute. So he's eating those. Okay, ready? I'm looking at the computer.
I did have one person ask.
Yeah.
During the engagement scene.
Yes.
Please don't talk.
During the engagement scene.
So when we get to the engagement scene,
don't talk.
Please don't talk.
I
think we can honor that.
Yeah, honor that.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the end, like right when the car pulls up and everything. Okay, deal.
Spoiler.
Well, I hope everyone is first. Okay, ready? 3, 2, play. Do, do, do. Okay. I'm ready, Peter. Were you nervous to come to our show?
Yeah, it's always nerve-wracking to go to a new show.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Is today
Sound. Perfect.
Okay. How about we start with the bubble bath?
Sorry about the ring light. We never were able to figure out how to get it out of the bubble bath. I'd rather have a ring light on our face.
Me too. I don't have your bones. Oh, do you remember this scene?
Yes. When I was like rewatching, I was like, what is Maya doing there?
You know,
just staring off into
space.
space.
Going home is not going to stop Karina from leaving.
I should be running home wanting to soak up every
It
lesson.
feels like I was captain so long ago.
Because you kind of were.
I kind of
We've had a pandemic.
I was like, oh yeah.
It will. Oh, that sounds fair. Thank you.
I like this scene.
Me too.
I keep thinking maybe I should just propose and then.
I love scenes with Maya and Andy together.
Same.
I find them very
as someone who
meaningful. I think they're really important in the mythology of the
married
show,
super fast.
and in the world of firefighting. I think women firefighters probably really cling to each other.
From what I have seen with my sister, I would agree that's very true. Yeah. From her perspective.
Now go home and soak up everything.
You have to support each other. You're such a small group.
Serious.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you tend to like really love like the simple scenes like that, or do you really love like now that you're on the fire show and you're doing all this fire stuff, or do you like the big fire stuff?
I enjoy it because it's a challenge. It's new to me. I mean, it's not new anymore really, but like I enjoy the freshness. I like a challenge creatively. But it's usually like an emotional scene. It's usually that's where I really want to hang my.
Which is really what the show's about, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like the fire stuff, because I'm about to direct my first episode, is a lot of fun
Oh
or
my
a lot
God.
of stress.
Oh, yes. But all of the above. But here's one thing you need to remember: crews get really good at what they do all the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what show you're on. You know that, right? You've been on a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
They get really good at what they do, and our show is really good at doing fire.
Yeah.
Or crisis.
We have
They're
it
really
down.
good at it. You have a lot of people to support you in that piece of it. It can be complicated. It can feel overwhelming. But first of all, I got great aim into dance. I got great aim into dance. This is testament to my gift as a director.
How long did it take?
Not very long.
Really?
I'm telling you, I'm very
Trust
good.
you. I know. You know what? You are very easy to trust, Peter.
Oh, thank you. That was very meaningful to me.
It's true.
I doctored myself.
I even forgot, like, watching back, I was like, oh my gosh, Gray in this relationship, it feels
Yeah.
so long ago, like season
Nara and
4.
Marsha. I've known Marsha for ages and ages and ages.
How'd you know Marsha?
Jane Taney, we were neighbors in Silver Lake. Literally, they lived in the same building.
Is that why why she got
No,
hired?
she was hired before me.
Oh yeah, because this was
Yeah.
one of the first episodes. What a small world.
I know. I learned my lesson.
I loved this story, and I loved having a person that was hard of hearing on the show.
Yeah.
I kind of miss that.
Whatever.
How did you guys do that shot? Or how did you do that shot?
One of the things, we shoot all our driving shots on LED walls, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not actually on the road. Which, by the way, if you are a young director and there's any universe you cannot be on the road on one of those awful, awful rigs where you're sitting in the back getting exhaust and dust in your face and trying to talk to the actors on walkie-talkies, do it. It is worth every cent. But I knew that the problem with those scenes is you often feel really stuck inside. You don't have any transitions. You don't have anything. And I was like, can we get away with, can we do this? And it worked. It worked really beautifully. So I was like, if you time it with that, we'll have a perfect pull.
And then you added the horn.
Yeah.
It was perfect. I saw that, I was like, what? I've never seen that done on one of our LED screens, so I love that.
Come through. No.
And we're obviously going to talk about how Jason George got to play by five versions.
Five Just Georges.
Yeah.
One of the
Five
most
Just
terrifying and difficult days of my entire directing career.
Really?
Yes.
I'm also so fascinated how, I don't know how you do that. Like, just to superimpose them in post?
Yes. Yeah.
Slice them separately? Oh, here it goes. Do we talk about how this was shot now?
We might as well. So, one of the things that I loved about the script was really, your storyline was like a play. Mm-hmm. It was this very intense, very character driven, just the two of you, just in your apartment. Written by Kylie Donovan, by the way.
Yes.
I want mad props to Kylie Donovan for an incredible script, and to Krista Vernoff for her shepherding and steerage of that script. And I was so excited about the material. And I came to you and Stefania, and I was like, okay, I have kind of a crazy idea, and it's only going to work if you guys are really up for it. And I was like, I want to shoot these scenes all the way through. I don't want to do this in a bunch of little cuts.
Yeah.
This is a complicated emotional journey, and I don't want you guys to be acting it. I want you guys to be in it and living it. And I know how I can shoot it. I know where I can put the cameras. I know a way I can make this work. But it's going to require you guys committing to 8 pages of dialogue at a time. And you were both like, yes. I mean, it was season 4. You guys were, I think, ready for a challenge.
Yeah, we were ready for a
Yeah.
challenge. But it was also such great material, like you said, that it made it very easy to be like, okay, as long as we get the lines down, we could easily do this. And
Yeah.
it keeps you in that headspace the
It
entire
keeps
time.
you in the place.
Yep.
And it's, there's such a different thing when you're acting where it's like, okay, and action, I'm mad. right? As opposed to an action, and you're saying the thing that is gonna actually piss me off, and then it's there, and it's real, and it's complicated, and it's messy, and it's not your idea of anger. It's actual anger that's actually been triggered in you.
Yes.
And I just think you all. That's Rochelle. That's Rochelle
Yes.
Zimmerman, one of our writers.
One of our writers.
Yes. Yep.
I had forgotten that she played the technician in this.
Yes, one of our writers. She's fantastic.
Oh, wow, whole family of doctors.
Yeah, the foster son's gonna be one.
Sad though, because her face is covered by a mask. It's like, aw.
Oh God, I forgot how terrible this was with all the face
Hey,
shields.
mind if I hang out?
Oh,
This is my
Yeah, it was a tough time to film.
Okay, Dr. Warren.
the worst.
Yes,
The
But I
worst.
think I
Wearing the
honestly-
masks and the shields and trying to communicate with actors.
Oh, you couldn't hear.
It's just awful.
And I would do that thing where I'd then turn because I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'm
I'd
like
be like,
screaming to the thing.
What was I gonna? But I think that this stuff with Maya and Karina came from us being in a pandemic.
It's kind of weird, right?
Because the season was so about
Relationships,
it had to be
yeah.
about relationships.
Right.
The show's always about relationships. But I think this season, because of that, it almost forced.
Yeah.
This whole episode was about relationships.
Right.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah, it was.
because of the pandemic, we got
Well,
a
this was a
full
standalone
page.
too.
Do we? That's right, because Christian.
This was on
did
top
it.
of this was on top of regular shooting.
Right. So we had to do it like that on top of it being.
Yeah, there wasn't. I actually don't think the
Not like too
the Jack story, the Gibson story, was supposed to be in the episode
This one wasn't supposed to be in it.
originally.
Got it.
And Kristen was like, "No, we need something
To offset.
incidenty."
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is incidenty?
Incidenty.
Like
As it related to an incident.
I was like, what's that word? Because usually I don't have a big vocabulary, so I thought it was something I didn't know.
We threw a woman off the building.
No, I was gonna say, did you
Yeah.
actually? Is it a stunt person that got thrown into like?
Yeah.
Okay, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh goodness.
What? Tell me. Do
Just
tell.
the day. It's just the day. Shooting. It was a challenging day. We had a woman in a dumpster, and we had a lot of footage to do, and a lot of medical, and
Medical always has a lot of time for those that don't know. The
Yeah.
reset is hard on it every take to get in there and do it right.
and
It's hard.
you know, bless all your souls, you're all really good at it, but you're not actual medical professionals.
No, we're
so
not.
you're sitting there in rehearsals, and our medical team is showing you how to do X, Y, or Z, and you know, you've all gotten pretty good at it, but it's not the easiest thing in the world.
It's always just hard to do while saying your lines.
Yeah.
It's that like middle ground of the two.
Forgive me, I'm not being rude. I just
He's got to be a producer.
sometimes it just
Maddie, is there a question that popped up that you want to ask in the meantime?
Yeah, well, kind of going back to what you guys were talking about with
She's
the
reading the
way
comments. Okay.
the marina scenes were shot in Continuum. Something that we always get all the time is like, did that lend itself to more improv or less improv in terms of the dialogue?
I don't improv.
All scripted.
No. First of all, it's the writing. I respect the writing so much that I don't like to deviate. I'm not a writer. I think some people are, and so they feel they have the knowledge and know how to add lines and stuff, and they should. Like, Jay is hilarious in improv. He should.
true.
He's got the timing.
It's true.
He knows what's funny. Like, there's certain people that are
Well,
good
your
at
improv, I
that.
think, maybe comes in also in terms of like your body language and the way that you're like acting on that front. But like,
I don't think that's technically
Technically
classified
not.
as improv. That's just acting. That's just good acting.
It's good acting.
And I mean, she's a really, really good actor. I think you had a huge breakthrough in this episode, though.
You have said that a couple times. So what
I
do you
know.
mean by that? Because
So-
we also have to talk about the episode that's going to air next week.
Which is, oh God, you're so fucking good in it. The episode, I'm so proud of the episode that airs next week. I can't even tell you guys. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. It's the best episode I've directed, certainly of this show, and maybe ever.
I love the episode as a whole. It's very hard to watch messed up, but I
It's-
love.
You are. It is some of your best work in the history of your career.
Thank you, Peter Page. I can't say
And
that.
you know me. I wouldn't say it if I didn't think it was true.
Yeah, you would not blow smoke.
Yeah, you know me. I tell you, I'm always like, oh, that's not one of your best ones. I'll be
Brutally
like,
honest.
yeah.
He's
I'm not brutal. That is not true. I'm not brutally honest. I am
You don't
honest.
consider brutally honest?
I don't think I'm brutally honest,
I don't consider brutally honest a bad thing now.
but I'm not brutal.
Okay.
Everyone's always like, you just say everything you think, and I'm like, no, I don't.
You're like, I
If
keep
I
a
said
lot of
exactly, if
stuff.
I said everything I think, none of these actors would ever speak to me.
No,
again.
it doesn't like
But-
hurt when you say
no.
stuff. No, it's not brutal in that regard. So
My
yes,
one of my director friends, I was talking to somebody on a group of the Good Trouble, and I said something, and they went like, they blanched, And one of the directors walked over and goes, "Oh, did you get some Peter Page tough love?" And they were like, "Uh-huh." And she was like, been there. And I was like, "Wait, is that a thing?" And she was like, "Oh, it's definitely a thing."
But you do it in a way that's like yesterday, you're like, well, the line would work, Danielle, if you actually did it right. Well, if you actually acted the line right, it would work.
What did I say that yesterday?
Yeah.
What scene was that?
I can't say.
Okay.
In front of people who
Yeah.
set up. You were half kidding, half serious, but it was funny when you said, I was like, you're right. If I actually, we were just moving through the beats.
Yeah, well, I wrote that one too, so I know it works.
Yeah, you're like, I know you know how to say it.
The episode that we're shooting right now, I wrote. It's my first episode as a writer on this.
Did you like writing on Station 19?
It's a hard show to write.
And what about it makes it hard? 'Cause you've obviously written so much.
I've written a ton, but there are so many threads to be pulled into every single scene.
Okay.
The show is incident, relationship, soap, comedy, social justice, all pulled in again and again and again, and it's a huge ensemble of super talented people.
Yeah.
So you want to service everyone, and it's really hard to do. There's a lot of you.
It helps, I'm assuming the writer's room decides what I'm sure the storylines are going to focus on per episode, or no?
Not really. There's character stuff that's like,
Oh, I didn't know
we're
that.
headed here. But
Got
you
it.
as the writer, you go, here's things I'm interested in. Here's some incidents I'm interested in.
Interesting.
Here's the way I'd like to broach these character stories.
Okay.
So the writers have a lot of, way more so than on other shows, they have a lot of agency. Which is great. Oh my god, this guy was so funny. One of my favorite things of this episode is the fight that's coming up.
Yeah.
Damn.
This guy.
I don't know.
Wait, are you Eric?
Did your girlfriend see?
Like Chris was right, though, this episode needed this.
Yeah.
Because if it just went back and forth between Maya Karina and Ben Warren.
Yes. It would have felt great. Also felt like it's small.
Isn't that funny, though, how you don't realize that take this out and how different the episode would be?
Yeah, totally. This is my friend Drew.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Drew was on Good Trouble. He recorded on Good Trouble for a long
Oh
time.
my gosh.
So I worked with him a lot, and I was like, oh, he'd be perfect for this. And
I'm so stupid.
Obviously, these crane shots.
And
Yes, this is a great shot.
Sourdough bread, like everybody else would know what.
And-
Have an affair.
Right? Where he said in his head,
yeah, I was very proud of that shot, I have to say.
Dumpster fire.
I feel like we got derailed though, talking about
What, sorry.
you. Oh, we were talking about you. I think
We don't need to get on that.
what I liked about this episode was
Yeah.
it was an opportunity for you to crack Maya's control,
Yeah.
and I think Danielle's control. I think there was a parallel opportunity for Danielle as an actor, who's a very smart actor, to give up control.
To really you have to with an H page scene that we shot all of them.
Exactly.
You have to.
That's what I mean.
Like there was no
And
thinking.
I'm telling you, I think your work changed after this episode. I think I'm so excited for you to direct. You have such a director's brain, and I know as an actor who has a director's brain, that can be challenging. That you sometimes feel the responsibility of servicing the whole scene as opposed to playing the part.
So true. That's so true.
And I think I witnessed something happening around this time that you start to go, oh, okay, oh, that's not my job today.
Yeah.
That'll be my job one day, but it's not my job today.
Yeah.
And there's something that happens to Maya and to Danielle in this scene, in this episode, that I think is the beginning of something. It's really exciting, creatively.
It's pretty awesome. I can't see. You know when you're so close to it, you can't see it.
Of course you can.
But I do remember this shooting it all as once. Like you just and how did you know where to put the cameras? First of all, did you go scout? You just walk the set and were like, this is where we're gonna put.
So I knew was I wanted you guys that in order for this to feel like an episode of Station 19,
Yeah.
you guys were going to have to be working and moving the whole time, right?
Yep.
There's a Station 19 basically rule, which is these are firefighters. They don't like dealing with their emotional lives, and they are on the move at all times.
Yes.
That's basically the Bible of our show. And that's, by the way, that can be really hard. It's hard on the actors sometimes. It's very hard on the directors sometimes. But I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, they're going to have to use this space.
Yeah.
Like really use it. And I was like, oh, if they use it, if they're moving through this space, I can put one camera in each zone. The cameras can avoid each other. And we can do these scenes again and again and again. Move the camera and pick up different pieces in each scene without having to do, this is the kitchen part, this is the living room part, this is the bedroom part.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah.
And I knew what I
really
needed,
smart.
but it was so fun to do. I'd never been able to do something like that. I never had the material for it.
Yeah.
I never had an 8-page scene before.
It was a
you know?
fun scene to shoot, and it definitely going back to what it just I couldn't think about anything besides the acting.
Come on. Thinking is kind of anathema to the best acting.
Yes, it's true.
It really is.
Shutting down
You
your brain is
think
really
at home,
hard.
you think in your homework,
You memorize
and
your
then you
lines.
stop thinking. You have to stop thinking when you get to set, and it's hard to do for people who are thinkers. It's hard to do.
Which I am.
Yeah,
Which
same.
you are.
So same.
You did change a line on me on the day, though. Do you remember? And I don't even remember what the line
No.
was, but it was like something to do with that speech about like the whole world is burning down, my whole team is, and there was like a line change that day, and I was like, no. The Jason George stuff, though, by the way, is like so sad. But why isn't Bailey there at his surgery?
We couldn't
Because of
get her.
Because of
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Because I was like, it's so sad. I didn't realize that like Bailey doesn't show up for him going through this really
Awful thing.
hard surgery.
Yeah, she's pulled into some emergency surgery.
Got it.
In the middle of a pandemic. I mean, we've been so
I forgot that the pandemic was part of this. Oh, this. So here comes the fight. Ready? Drops bags. This fight delights me endlessly.
She just like
These two.
Well, 'cause
Because what I
it's-
love is that they're not like. What I hate on TV, and by the way, our stunt guy who I adore,
Steve is amazing.
Steve is just a brilliant stunt guy. But Steve's like, he'll roundhouse and he'll this, and I was like, no. I was like, these guys. This guy listens to NPR, and this guy like plays air guitar. Like they don't know how to fight. And he was like, oh well.
I like the kick.
Yes, me too. Just thinking. And I was like, that's a fight. That's a fight of two guys who have NPR bags, tote bags.
Oh, I love that.
It's so funny, by the way. There's people in this that now I know so intimately, and I didn't even realize.
Like our cast.
Yeah, like the Fuego
Fuego Boys. Yeah.
The Fuego Boys are the 4 firefighters that you see in the background of every freaking scene. That
I should do some sort of live or something with them so everyone knows who it is. But yeah, Denton plays Klein.
Yeah.
Jason plays Larson. If you see the name on the back of their jackets.
Yeah.
Spencer plays Cutler. And D Emmanuel plays Wiggins. And so those are our 4 Fuego Boys, we call them, that we have with us all the time to be our firefighters.
They're part of the team, but we don't follow their stories very much.
Yeah. Every once in a while they've had lines, so you've definitely seen them talk. I think everyone so far has had a line with it. I liked the Gabriella. I like kind of forgot about Gabriella
Yeah?
and like the drama
I
she
don't know
added
how.
to the
She
whole
was-
mix.
yes.
Yeah.
She really has.
Oh, Maya. Get off.
Somebody today on Twitter wrote like a multi-tweet
Yeah.
analysis of this story,
Yeah.
and just literally she like called out every single thing I had done directorially, and I was
Yeah.
like, well, thank you, Lucy, something. And she literally she was like the way he frames them in different rooms, and then they come together and they're in each other's shots, and then they're claustrophobic, and and I was like, that is every single thing I intended. Like she just hit every
nailed
single
it.
thing. Yeah.
Didn't you know months ago?
But it's beautiful that you're able to tell a story. You are very smart with how. Maybe you're fucking.
That's not what I said.
I think you're allowed to swear.
I don't know if I am because it's on ABC. It's Station 19's page.
It's alright.
You're a brilliant director.
Thank you very much. That's nice of you to say.
But it's great that someone was able to actually break that down as well. Was you said it was Lucy? Was she aspiring or director?
I don't know. I don't know what her really. She's very smart. That's all I can say because she loves my work. I'm kidding. She. I don't know, but she's. It's her name is like Lucy from Blah or Lucy from Queer Mouth or something. Like it's.
Okay.
She has a name that feels sort of as if it's Old English or something, but it's vaguely lesbian.
Okay.
By the way, I wore my sapphic pink turtleneck in honor, and then my yonic flowers in honor. Yonic means it's the equivalent of phallic.
Oh, I did not
For
know
women.
that. I did
Young.
You know what?
not
I'm
know that.
actually not gonna say.
What?
Am I allowed to say this on live stream? You don't know what a yoni egg is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so that's derived from the same name.
Yeah. Look at that shot. That's a shot. That's
Yeah.
exactly a shot where it's about the
Half
it's about these two. Suddenly these walls are coming up.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about fault. Why does every conversation about us has to be about winners and losers?
It's such a real fight between a couple, like
Totally.
two, you know what I mean? Like,
Kudos to Kylie. These are hard scenes to write, and this
Yep.
is circular and messy and human and totally real.
yep.
And look how far apart you guys
I
are.
feel crazy. I go from feeling totally empty to feeling everything at once. I'm sorry, Rosita. I know that when I am excited,
And these
it
moments,
seems like
these moments on you,
I'm not yelling.
when Stefania's emotional life gets too big for Maya, you know, when Danielle, or when
I'm sorry. It's fine.
when Karina's emotional life gets too big for Maya, that it's just that it's such a perfect oil and water thing that you guys share, which is just like her Italian comes out and your waspiness comes out.
I hate this.
I know.
Everything you said is true. I was so worried about you leaving that I never actually asked you how you felt. I just assumed that you were happy to go home for a little bit.
Home?
I know your home is in the South. I just thought that
Italy hasn't felt like home since my mom left when I was 16 years old. Then it just became the place where I lived. I didn't find my home until I met you, Paulina. You're my home. And I'm being kicked out of my home in the middle of a pandemic.
I love that shot too.
That line on.
Oh, that line is iconic. I mean, that line is it's like a definitive. I see it all the time. So it's so important to that relationship.
I love all the shooting, obviously. It's so hard though to be complimentary when it's of my face. I'm like, I love that shot.
For the record, I love your face. Oh, I love this too when you guys fall over the couch.
I do too, and then there's that
It's
little
just so
laugh, which
sweet.
is
I
100%
know, we just
organic.
get going. Yes,
Because,
exactly.
like, that definitely happened.
Here we go.
Okay.
5 Jason Georges.
Here it goes.
So,
Yep.
I am, and I think Danielle will attest to this, I'm a very fast director.
Very. Which is
I-
crazy because you get so much done.
But I move
Fast.
at the speed of light, and
Yes.
and the crews are amazing, and they keep up with me, and it's just phenomenal. This,
I loved that, by the way.
that little,
Yeah, I loved it. Okay, sorry. Yes, this.
this day, I was like, sure, I can shoot 5 Jason Georges. It's a 5-page scene, and he's playing 5 different versions of himself.
Wait, pause. How many pages do we normally shoot in a day? Because I don't think people realize.
Oh, we shoot about 6 pages a day.
Okay, so
That's
5 pages
6 or
in a
less,
day.
frankly.
Oh, okay.
So this is a 5-page scene.
Yep.
I think I can shoot 5 pages in my sleep. What I don't think is Jason George is playing against Jason George. So that means you have to multiply that 5 pages every time you're in the scene.
So
basically
basically
this is a
25.
20 to 25 page scene.
Yep.
And I almost had a heart attack. It was
Which is
one
hard
of
to
the
believe
most...
because you're so, you know what you want, you come like so prepared and so ready, and so it's like to think of you almost having a heart attack with this.
It was so terrifying and so hard. And we had doubles who had to play with him, to play the other versions of him.
Yeah.
But we had these 2 brothers who were lovely. One of whom sort of, you could get like an ear and it sort of looked a little bit like Jason.
Yeah.
But the other one didn't look anything like Jason. And only one of them could act. And
Okay.
the other one was just like barely memorized some lines and was just like terrified. It was, it was the most, one of the 2 or 3 most stressful days of my entire career.
I never knew that.
Oh, I almost, yeah. They pulled the plug on me. They pulled the plug on me at the end of this.
That's never happened to you.
Ever.
But you got all the footage. Is
I
there
did.
anything
But by
you
the
felt
end,
like you missed?
but by the end, I literally, with the last shots of this story, I'm literally going, you move over there, you move over there, you be ready for this. We're gonna do this, then you're gonna swing the cameras over here, and they're gonna get this. And Chad, our first AD, it was his first ever episode as the first.
Was it his first?
It was.
He's not first? No.
It was his first episode
Because
ever
he
as the
was,
first.
because
He
it was
our
a
second.
standalone.
Yes.
Oh, because he is he's now our first AD, but he didn't become a first AD till last season.
Yes.
So season 4, he did the standalone.
This was the standalone.
Right.
This was the first episode. And Chad
Oh
was,
my God,
he was like, you can't do it. I was like, you watch me. Like I was just like, he was like, we'll never get it. I was like, we will. Like it was chaos.
Who's
It's
this?
chaos.
I wish someone was there to film it.
You have a son.
You're my son, Julie.
Yes, he is.
Well, you would never know.
I mean, oh my god. Did the kitchen, one of my favorite things in this episode is when the kitchen comes in, appears behind her, which we just missed it, but
Do you want us to go back?
Because when you
no.
have a child, you fight to live.
I know what show you're talking about. I think everyone else does too.
Yeah.
But that,
Yes,
how did you do that?
We designed the set and I was like, okay, listen, yeah.
You
I want when his mom appears,
have
for it not to be like I was like the thing about dreams is they're this weird combination of very real and surreal.
Yeah.
Like that's what a dream is most of the time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, we need something in this story that just doesn't make sense beyond just his mom's appearing and his ex-girlfriend
And beyond the
appearing
doctor
and
being tied up in the...
yes,
in the corner.
but like I was like I wanted to support that visually. So I was like,
Yeah.
so I was like in an operating room we have this wall of cabinetry, and I was like, well, wouldn't it be amazing if when his mom appears and takes off the scrub gown, it becomes her kitchen, his childhood kitchen.
Yep.
And so we built the kitchen, and they had to swap it out in the middle of the shooting day, which
It's not easy to do. I was gonna say.
I had said, build me a plug, build me 2 walls that you can pull the set out and push it
And
in.
already
and it
like
should
set
take-
decked and everything.
Yes. And they were like, they were sure. And then somehow, because I was not the executive producer, I was just a guest director, they were like, no, we'll just change it out. Oh. And what was supposed to take 15 minutes took about an hour and a half.
Great.
On this day.
In your 25-page
Yeah, my 25-day shooting day.
with 5
I
days
was,
worth. Yep.
it was rough. That was a rough moment.
strong enough and brave enough to
But like you said, pretty unflappable, but I was flapped.
But you know what? You wouldn't know. You
Exactly.
watch the scene and you got all the pieces. You got everything. It tells us the beautiful story. It's emotional and moving. And
Well, thank you.
to be a surgeon.
does he still want to be a surgeon?
When you were
So
little,
yeah, he's supposed to. I think so.
you were gonna be
I mean, because obviously Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
the first black president. I thought you had a chance.
Because I love that.
She was
one.
lovely. This is a lovely performance she gave. By the way, props to Colleen Foy who played Nara. Props to Jay Taini who played Marsha.
Marsha.
You can, if you stay alive.
Oh,
Now,
the
what
Ember.
what was the thought behind the Ember?
That
I'm trying to remember.
well, that you know, he has testicular cancer, which is
Yeah.
firefighter cancer, right?
Yes.
It's very common in firefighters.
Yes.
And I was like, well, wouldn't it be more interesting rather than pulling a tumor out if they pulled coal, like charred,
Hot.
yes.
And then
So here,
firefighter,
by the way,
yeah.
ready? These shots we're doing these shots at lightning speed now.
Get it?
The end of the story. This very last shot of him watching this was literally me screaming at everyone, going, "Put the camera here! Put a camera here!" There's another camera underneath him,
Yeah.
basically about to shoot up. It to give me everything I needed. It was crazy, crazy,
I mean, cheating.
So hardest scene of the episode to shoot.
hands down.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's a statement considering we shot an 8-page oneer.
As a
basically.
play,
Yes,
yeah, we shot it like a play.
And
Incredible.
that was easier. Oh god, that was so.
Yeah, you definitely took on a lot, Peter. That was a big
I
episode.
was- yeah.
It was also a big standalone episode when you think about it. Usually
Yeah.
standalone episodes are very bottled.
Yeah.
Important.
Yep.
I loved that stuff. I loved all of it.
Paris Barkley was the producing director at this time, and Paris and I knew each other. But
I'm
had
laughing
never-
because I
had
can
never worked
imagine what he said when all this was happening.
together. Well, when it started, like on day 1 of prep, we sit down on our first prep meeting, and I was like, this, that. I mean, I've been a showrunner at this point for, I don't know, 8 years, and he was like, oh, you actually know what you're doing. And I was like, I guess. And he was like, you got this, you're fine.
So he just was like, bye,
Basically,
have fun.
pretty much. He's back prepping to direct you next week.
I know. It was, remember when you guys both were on set while we were shooting the scene?
I care about you, and
Happy
I love
feels.
taking care of you and
I loved their storyline.
Sexy because you like taking
Jack had to go down a dark road after all this.
No, that's not good. Right. What I'm saying is, you don't need to be something.
Colleen's a lovely
Because I
actress.
just-
Yes, she is. And personal.
And human being, yeah. Great.
I'm not. Jack,
Do you remember if anything had to be cut, like specifically within this episode?
Not a ton. I mean, I remember doing some tightening and some trimming in things like some of the scenes were a little bit longer, but I don't think we cut anything from you guys. And I think little which you do all the time to get it to time, but it wasn't not much.
Nothing too much was left out.
Are episodes on average overtime, or because every episode has to be a set time?
Pretty much every episode needs to be 42 minutes and 21 seconds.
42 minutes and 21 seconds.
Yes.
That's a very interesting number.
Yes, it used to be a lot longer than that, but
Commercials.
oh, this is also iconic. Paris brought that to me this week.
Did he really?
Yeah.
He plays with hoses all day. You know?
Yeah. Like 10 minutes. You would think that seeing vaginas ripped open by babies had me interested in sex with women, but oddly, it hasn't.
I love this scene. The shape of the scene. I love where it starts. I love the turns. They're so subtle, but they're so clear. Just this moment, like, wait, what? And just watching the train go off the tracks, but in slow motion, like it's just, I don't know, it's just so nuanced.
I also too love that little transition every time it happens, and I don't know why.
Did marriage just literally trap your mom in a house with her abuser? Why would you want that?
But we're not my parents.
I know, and I'm trying.
We're gonna do the one happen. Remember the hand that just happened organically too? Is this the take where?
I thought we were building the future together.
We are.
Yeah.
We don't need to be married to do that.
And you're moving back to Italy.
Oh, I mean, what do you want me to do about
I
that?
love that sequence because it felt like on the page it read like, oh, they're gonna start
It
fighting,
reminds me of my dad.
and you're not, and you guys are both trying not to fight.
We just made love.
Yeah,
So
you're
that
trying not
we're
to fight,
at least-
but it's just
there's
getting,
serotonin
it's just,
dopamine
yeah.
going off.
We could get married.
Yeah, you're right though. It was.
I'm not getting married just because of the visa.
Just because?
You know what I mean.
I really don't.
I really don't.
Solve a problem.
I don't see any other way.
We are doing the other way. I'm
Oh, I
already
love this
at
sequence too.
Brisbane. I got a job in Italy. I'm about to go to the airport. We can't.
Oh, no, I
get
thought this was
married
you guys in the
because you
mirrors.
wanna be a
Is
couple.
that now?
That's not why we would be getting married.
That's why
Mirrors
we
happen.
did
Is it in this episode, or was that my another
I
episode?
don't know. I'm trying to remember what
It's
mirror shot you're talking
marriage
about.
idea. It's bureaucracy. The only reason it's coming up is because I'm not from this
We don't
country.
go back to the
and I can
bathroom
stand
now.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good reason. Maya, you didn't even want this until
Maybe it
you
was
started
502.
being sad about me.
Yeah, is this something like you're just brushing your teeth or something?
Yeah.
Or no, I'm putting mascara on.
You're putting mascara on.
That's a different episode.
Yeah.
I have a firehouse full of green.
This
Which I
line.
love.
This is the line that changed on the day, and I was like, "Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me."
Trust me.
Better pack.
For the thing.
I love you.
But I love that but.
Maybe you're right. This is crazy. Maybe we moved too fast. Maybe we didn't think this through. Maybe we hardly know each
Also,
other.
when
Maybe
you
we should just take a
watch
break.
the episode as a whole, you're like, jeez.
I'm not-
We go through every emotion, every
Yeah.
thought, every secret comes out. She doesn't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. Like everything in one episode. Welcome to television.
Well, when you have 20 pages more, probably 20 plus pages of dialogue, shit better come up, or else it's gonna be real boring.
Yep. Breathe.
Emily says the mirror was 502.
Emily did.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course she does. Emily Culver is a super freak, for the record. Literally, you'll be like,
Emily's
what
definitely
episode
gotta
of
be
Grey's
on here."
Anatomy did Teddy Altman drop a pen in? And she'll be like, it's 1407. And you're like,
And it happened at 13:52.
Yes.
Yeah, 1352.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I've made no effort to learn your culture or your language. I do not.
I loved this turn in the writing
Yeah.
because then it was like, no, you shouldn't be with me then. You're right.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Maya's defenses are powerful and really fun to write.
We're in a right for you.
Fun
I
to
didn't
play.
say break up. I said take a break. Frankly,
And then
I
do
don't
this
understand the
and-
difference. Do you want to get married? I'm married. You
Look at that. Come on now. That's a story.
Also, too, about your directing, is you don't do. Now you're probably correct me. Like
When I moved into this house,
the
told me
prop, like not proper word.
that is not how it
There are
works.
certain people like Paris who do line by line. This is exactly what our shot's gonna be. This is gonna be the shot list. This is the thing. Your creative ability is very much in your head. You see it.
Marriage is what can keep us
You write it down and you tell people. But
Well,
like,
I am.
and And I should have said proper. It's not proper because I think you're
No.
brilliant.
I'm not offended at all. I always have a plan.
Yes.
I usually communicate it. Not always. Usually. And I am incredibly, I trust my gut
You're good.
enormously.
It's obviously
And so I'm always looking to beat the plan. I always want you to beat the plan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always looking for you guys to surprise me. I'm always looking to see the scene
way.
in a different way. I'm always looking for my DP to come to me and go, come here. And
Let's
me
do
go over and
this.
like look at that and go, yes, that's the story. So,
Gabriella Sting.
Stop, Maya, you've said enough.
ugh. What I love about this scene is that it could have ended 3 pages ago.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. And it just don't want me to take you to the airport? Nope.
Which is also such a great, like, Kylie wrote this, like, someone that's actually, like, that is a relationship argument.
Yes.
Where at the end you're still giving, like, and I love that final shot. I remember that shot. That we obviously
Poor
shot.
Stefania trying to wrangle those
Oh
suitcases
my gosh!
and
I
get past the
remember
camera.
that.
Do you remember
Yep,
all that? Yes.
Is everyone else coming?
Yeah, that was not the easiest thing for her to do. We have to be quiet soon. But
R.I.P. Quibby.
what?
R.I.P. Quibby.
R.I.P. Quibby.
Do you remember Quibby?
Yeah.
The
Oh,
the
this
platform?
was their building.
This was the Quibby
Yes.
building.
It took me a second. I was like, R.I.P. Quibby. Oh, rest in peace, Quibby.
Yes.
Got it.
Did you almost swear in any of those scenes, Danielle?
No.
Like,
That is not true. You
accidentally got
did.
in?
You did. There's at some point you're like there's like an almost an F-bomb in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I remember,
It's
yes.
got to be that last speech when
Yeah.
the world is on fire. When
Yeah,
I'm like,
something, yeah.
right? Because I
Yeah.
pause. I'm like, the world is
Yes,
on fire.
that's it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I actually don't know if I was actually gonna cuss though, or if I just was like what the hell is the line?
It's fine. Either is possible, but whatever it is you
But
get
it
away.
sounded like I was about to cuss, and I won't ever remember. So who knows? But I do. Your just creative style is different than I would say a lot of directors I've shadowed, and I think that says a lot about your directing because it's collaborative, but also you have a very, very clear idea what you want every time coming into it.
Mama. That made me laugh so hard.
Was that improv at all, or was that scripted?
No, I wrote that.
You wrote it.
I did. I was kind of gonna do this. I was like, it makes me laugh so hard at the idea of Ben waking up
I
and
feel like it made
saying
me
"Mama"
laugh.
to Sullivan of all people.
You definitely got a kick out of that.
This is from 19, by the way.
I love it. Is it any of this improv? I gotta know.
No. Well, maybe a little
Chorus,
bit.
you
There's
know
something in
chorus.
there. Yeah.
Like
There's
he
something in
says-
there that he improvises. That I think is improvised.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I remember hearing that being like Boris had this.
Dark, I love this. That's nuts. See, that just changed since I was out.
Hey, it was more, we could get married, I guess. Wow.
She does that so well. They're like,
Gabriela, my parents nearly killed each other. They separated, Andrea and I did. Okay.
Yeah, she's one of the great stutterers.
Everyone's parents get divorced. That's not a good excuse not to get married.
where did you guys shoot this? Is this where
Hang on a second.
you probably shot this? Where you shot all the Ben hospital stuff?
Oh yeah, we built a hospital set that we changed.
Got it.
Yeah, they modified it between the two scenes. Yeah.
And I don't want to run into a situation that we might regret in a couple of years just because of paperwork.
So you're willing to lose her instead, huh?
Just, no, just don't let that hold on, man.
I've known you for half of my life, and honestly, I have never seen you as a piece as I did.
Does everybody know she was like a giant star in Italy who came and did like this great little curve for us?
Yeah, I think she still is a giant star,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's what.
She was basically the Meredith Grey of Italy, right? Isn't that the?
I don't know.
I
Stefania
mean,
was telling
Meredith
me.
Grey isn't Meredith Grey of Italy, but like, yeah. Oh,
But, yeah.
I love that shot too. The airport
Across
sign
the-
going up the thing.
Yep. Was
Yeah.
that had to be done in post, or was that?
Okay.
Okay, I'm quiet now.
What am I supposed to do? I was awful. She was awful.
But you guys are gonna get back together, right? Once your visa gets renewed? Maya. Marry me. Marry me. I know I'm separating you, and I don't want to get married just because the government says we have to. And I still think marriage was invented to keep women as property, but I'd much rather do something that I don't want to than lose you.
Trina, I don't know if I want kids, and the world is a mess right now.
The world is a mess, and the world is changing right now as we're standing here. The world is changing, and it's beautiful. Don't worry about his there. But what I know is that I want to be in this beautiful mess of a changing world with you. Please, please let me down. Marry me. Yes. Yes. We're getting married.
It's so nice they're all there.
I remember being like, I also need a crane.
Give it all to me. Okay, what the hell? Why am I getting emotional? I've seen the episode, I acted in the episode, and it's me.
Because it's important.
What was your initial reaction when you found out that Maya was getting engaged?
Should we shush it? Should we
Oh,
shush the
yeah.
thing? I don't know.
What do I do it on? I have the
You
thing.
can just do it all.
Oh, can I?
Do it there, yeah.
Thank you. What was that? Is that a question? Like, what was
Yeah.
my initial? I mean, I was excited.
Yeah.
I was excited for the challenge of shooting the episode. I hadn't met you at all until the first day, so I didn't know.
Did you think I was crazy?
Not at all.
Oh, really?
No, I thought you understood me
Okay.
in a deeper level because the things you were saying to me I got, and you were like calming me down because you're like, we're gonna shoot all this once, and here's the line change, and I totally get it. Get out of your head, and I was like, okay.
But at first you didn't think like, who is this wackadoo who's coming
Not
and
at
telling
all.
us we're going to shoot this like a play?
Not at all.
All right. I'm
No. I loved the challenge. It was definitely not. I don't know what I was thinking, but it definitely wasn't wackadoo.
All right.
No.
Fair enough.
No, I liked what you brought to the whole thing, and I was excited for the storyline. I think it was a great episode. I was like, yeah, let's do
it.
this.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys were I was so grateful for how you showed up. But everybody.
You were so collaborative,
I had
though.
such a great experience. I wouldn't still be here if I didn't.
Yeah, well,
I
then
was
you
so
became.
bad.
You were like, okay, fine. Now I'll be a producer on the show.
All right.
You're like, okay, I like these people now.
It turns out it's a really good show, and it's not really just about fighting fires. And
It's about a lot of relationships.
it is,
so
which-
much relationships.
which I love.
I do too.
I love that it's a show that is watched all over the world, and a lot of people I think come for the firefighter rapper, but really it's about Black and brown and queer people making their way in the world, making their way in a system that's traditionally white and straight and male, and it makes me really proud. I love telling those
same.
stories. I love telling those stories.
Same. I'm very proud to be a part of the show and to play
Yeah.
Maya.
Now, I want to talk to the fans for a second.
Okay.
I feel like I have your attention, so I want to talk to you a little bit.
Oh, cool.
All right. Oh, the hearts all stopped. Did you see that? That was crazy.
Like
the
at the
hearts,
same
like
moment.
just as soon as I said it, the hearts stopped.
I'm interested to see what you're gonna say too.
Please remember, it's a ride.
Yes.
And if in Shondaland, your characters aren't going through some shit or haven't just gone through some shit,
Yep.
that relationship is in trouble with a capital T. If there's no drama, thank you for this burst of hearts. If there's no drama, there's no relationship. It's television. If people had the relationships that you say you want, of just being lovely and sweet to each other and cuddling on the couch and watching movies and occasionally making love, you would stop watching the show because, oh my God, it would be so boring. So please know, we love these characters. We love these relationships. We love the journey. And sometimes the journey is painful. Please, please understand, nobody is out to disrespect you or piss you off or take away from you something that you love. Unless it is to take it away to give it back to you later when you'll value it more. So please, 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 please know that every writer who works on this show loves these characters as much, if not more, than you do. And every actor who works on this show loves these characters as much, if not more, than you do. So please don't just... I understand being upset. I understand being, sad. I understand even being angry. But don't be angry at the people. who are telling the stories. Please.
Please.
We love you. We appreciate you. But just know everybody is just trying to take you on a great ride every week. And sometimes that means your favorite characters are going to go through some shit. All right?
Eloquently said.
Thank you. And I mean it. I really mean it. Because we do, everybody. We love these characters so much.
Yeah.
And I just, like, I know sometimes you think, like, oh, they're just doing it to hurt us. And we're just not. We're just not. I mean, we do, like, a little bit of exquisite torture. Like, a little bit.
Stop.
But just a little.
No, but I think you said it perfectly when you said, too, that, like, you have to have it go away to appreciate it even more.
Yes.
I think that's a big part of it, too. And
Yeah.
it would get boring if we were just sitting around, cuddled on the couch, watching.
For real. I mean, every once in a while. But we give it out every once in a while. So.
Well, not with my Korean yet, but...
We don't give that. We've given you way better, frankly.
No,
And
not
everyone
like
resorted
this
to that.
season. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I have loved the storyline.
And I'm just saying,
I love it.
Next week, you're going to go through some stuff.
Oh, yeah. Let's do you want to pitch anything about next week?
I think, well, I'll just say this. I've directed a lot of hours of TV. I'm very proud of a lot of them. I think it might be the best hour of TV I've ever directed.
I haven't seen everything you've done, but it is a phenomenal episode.
I think it's a really special hour of Station 19.
Like, everybody in it, everyone's storylines, how it's all woven together, everyone's performances. It's...
Yeah. It's really... I really hope people show up for it. I'm proud of every frame of that show. We just screened it for the crew this week, and God, we got a lot of love from the crew. And they, they're around it all the time, but they don't always get to see the show, and they don't necessarily get to see it before we air it, especially. And so many people were just like, "Oh my God!" I'm talking about you guys. Danielle and Stefania do some really incredible work. Everybody does incredible work in that episode. There's really beautiful performances from the entire cast. Which is, by the way, I sort of said this earlier, but I want to really say it again. It is so rare to have a cast that is, to a person, this talented and this good. It's so rare.
And we all really love our job. Like,
everyone is so talented, and they're really good people. And it's, making a show is hard. It is, it's like family in all of everything that can mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Exactly. And everything that means. It is.
Yeah.
You spend, more hours, frankly, you spend more hours together than you do with your actual families at home. And but it is such a privilege to write for you all, to direct you all, to collaborate with you all. I feel very, 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 very grateful.
It's a privilege to have you
Boom.
direct us,
Boom.
write for us,
Boom.
be around us.
I'm excited for them. Did you like the script that I wrote? Did you?
I did.
Good.
I
It's
did.
fun.
I'm excited to see it all pulls together because it's also the first time I can see how you see it as a director, but you're not directing it.
But I didn't direct it. Yeah.
So I'm so interested to see with how your writing ends up being.
Stacey K.
directed.
Black, our producing director, is directing it.
So I'm very interested to see that put together.
Me too. Me too.
I'm very, very interested.
Yeah, I like what I've seen so far.
Good.
I'm excited.
It's been fun to shoot, that's for sure.
It's fun. It's a really fun episode.
It is.
It's a fun episode.
Well, yeah, and that's the storyline that I'm in is,
Your storyline's great. Makes me laugh so hard.
Any questions, Maddie, that you can think of that came up?
I can't remember if you guys covered this already, but have you shadowed Peter?
Not officially. I've never shadowed you from start to finish.
That's crazy.
Stefania did.
Yes, Stefania did.
Stefania shadowed you from start to finish for the Christmas episode.
Yep.
But I was going to shadow you and come in, but it's never worked out for some reason. It's because also
But have you not spent a day or two with me?
No.
Yes.
I just meant official, when I officially do all the prep, all the production, all of post.
Yeah.
I've only done that, I think, fully with 4 or 5 directors.
Which is a lot.
Yeah,
frankly.
it is.
Yeah.
But I'll come and chill and watch. That's how I know. I understand how, because I've been able to sit at Village and watch you.
Yeah.
And watch your magic and how it all works and the whole thing.
Burp.
It's true.
Do you have a number one piece of advice for aspiring directors?
Oh yes, please. I would like
you've already heard all of this, so it's not going to be news to you. So one of my directing mentors, when I was doing my first hour of TV, I said, tell me what I need to know, and he said, a great hour of television has 3 to 5 great scenes and no bad ones. Every scene cannot be gold. Sometimes you just got to tell the story. Simply, you've got to decide where your episode turns. You got to decide where to spend your capital. by which I mean time, by which I mean money, by which I mean camera shots, by which I mean equipment, by which I mean all the things. And I really believe that. I really believe if you go look at your favorite hour of TV, you can break it down that way. Oh, look, there's the scene. Oh, look, there's the scene. Oh, look, this is really actually very simply done. I don't think about this when I think about the episode because it's driving me to this other moment.
Yep.
Right? This episode is a great example.
I was trying to think, which are the 3 to 5 to you? I can name
in this one, your 8-page fights.
Yep.
Jason George, the big Jason George scene with his mother.
Yep.
There's the scene. I actually think the scene in the dumpster that turns into the fight, like that scene where it all comes out.
Yep.
It's big and it's messy and it's funny and it lifts the whole episode.
Yep.
Kind of. We didn't do them. There's not a montage at the beginning of this episode, is there? Which is unusual for.
We
Station.
weren't really doing them though in season 4. I feel like we do.
I don't know.
Montages?
I don't.
I feel like the
I
montage
was barely
thing
there,
has become more and more
a thing for season 5. Got it.
I mean, I know we did montage stuff in the past, but it was never like a thing we did every time.
Right.
And this was also a standalone.
Yes,
but,
exactly. Well, that's right. But I mean, part of the reason, Andy is only in a few scenes of this
because
she was probably the lead story in the other. By the way, we didn't shoot this as 14. We shot it as 12, I think.
That's
and
right.
And things got moved, right? The character story, because these stories were kind of standalone-y, except for you guys getting engaged. Everything else was a little bit of treading water emotionally.
Yep.
So they were able to I think they changed a few lines in an earlier episode.
Yep.
So that it took out that you guys had gotten engaged already and and it kind of rearranged things.
I remember that.
Is that right?
Oh my god, yes, it did. It got all rearranged.
Yeah.
That's great to actually go into I'm glad you reminded me of that though again, the 3 to 5. Now when I get my script next week. I'll be
you get a script next week.
I get my script next week.
Very
I'll
exciting.
Be like, okay, what are the 3 to 5 scenes? What are the 3 to 5 scenes? Yeah.
Just where do your stories turn?
Yeah.
Where do you want to spend your capital?
Okay. Do you remember the first time you ever directed?
Yeah.
What was it?
Well, the first time I ever directed was my movie, was my feature.
Say Uncle?
Mm-hmm.
Were you nervous?
I was fucking terrified.
I mean, I figured, but
I was
okay,
effing terrified. Yeah, are you kidding? I wrote, directed, produced, and starred in.
No.
My first movie was me, Kathy and Jimmy, Gabrielle Union, Lisa Edelstein, Melanie Linsky.
That's a good cast.
I know! I was so scared!
But it all went great, obviously.
Yeah, it went alright.
But you were so scared.
I was so scared.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else, Melanie?
Would you direct a musical episode of Station 19?
Oh.
I would happily direct a musical. I don't know that I think...
I remember something. Yeah.
I don't know that I think Station 19 needs a musical episode. In terms of the convention of musical episodes as we understand them, is there an episode with a lot of music in it of Station 19 that I think could be really creatively compelling? Absolutely. Does that make sense? That distinction?
Yeah. But not us walking around singing.
Doesn't it normally happen in kind of like a dream sequence,
some version of that? You know what I mean? But to me, 5 Jason Georges was kind of like a musical. You know what I mean? Would have been another opportunity.
And the
to do a
8-page
musical.
walkthrough scene.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much it.
A dance in a different way.
Yeah.
In a different way. Speaking of, you continue to act.
A little bit.
You acted on Station 19.
I did.
Do you want to remind people who you played on Station 19?
I played Vic's college theater professor, whose last name was Cooper.
Yeah.
Who died.
So
by the way, Krista Vernoff, my best friend of 30 years, loves to kill me. She's killed me twice and gave me a nervous breakdown on our other show.
Because on Grey's Anatomy,
I died on Grey's Anatomy.
You died on Grey's Anatomy.
I died on Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, in season 2 or the beginning of season 3, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Of Grey's Anatomy, I play a guy with a brain tumor that makes him say everything he thinks.
Yeah, which I feel like she was just having you.
How dare you! I do not say everything I think. Let's be clear.
I think you say that in a defensive way because you're like, oh God, if you heard everything I was
exactly.
But
no one would speak to me.
It feels like you're just very honest.
I am very honest. Like I don't lie. I don't lie, but I don't say everything. There's a difference between not lying and not being edited. He didn't have it. He couldn't edit.
He didn't edit. But are you even less edited with Krista because she is one of your very dear friends?
No,
you're the same.
We are both highly sensitive people.
Got it.
So we take care of each other.
Yeah.
Yes, we know how, and we take the hard things to each other too. But we try to say them kindly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do edit still.
Yes.
But yes, I do remember the character you played on
Yes,
Grace.
so that was
and
great.
Now that I know you.
And she killed me. Right, exactly. It was funny. She killed me then. She killed me on station. She was like, "You want to come be I said, "Do you want to come be on Station 19?" And I said, "What's the part?" And she goes, "College theater professor." And I was like, "Oh, come on! Like, of course, of
Did you know
course."
you were gonna die when she said that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. By the way, though, what was crazy is I assumed that my actual death would be handled by a stuntman because I caught on fire.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that we did fire the way we do fire.
Oh.
I didn't realize I was going to have to do it. So I was like, oh, great, that's not that. I like basically threw the page out of the script because I was like, not for me to worry about.
Yeah.
And then I had to die without actually being on fire.
I do remember you actually telling me this.
It was
Yeah.
awful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like you and I have similar brains, and I just imagine having to do that, to run around and scream and like swat at yourself as if you are burning to death.
I can't even. I mean, just the Maze episode 4 of this season.
Yeah.
Because all of that was CGI, and how I had to do the scene where I'm like,
Just-
I couldn't
yeah.
stop laughing every time I'm like stomping out fire that's not there, and I was like, I feel like such an idiot. Yeah, I totally.
Shout out to our our VFX team. The COSA is the name of the company.
Yep.
They do incredible work.
Which mainly we have Ryan, right? Who's always
Right?
with
Yes.
us.
Yes. Yeah. We used to have Neil, and then we have Ryan. They do.
Do miss
incredible
Neil, but
work,
love Ryan.
Yeah. So wait, where were we
With
going?
acting, so you
that.
you did Rebel.
And then I was on Rebel.
But
was on Rebel.
I haven't seen your stuff in Rebel.
Oh, okay.
But I know you're on Rebel.
I was on Rebel, but she gave me a nervous breakdown.
Oh, okay.
Like I fully had to have a nervous breakdown on camera. On camera, I had a full.
Are you
nervous
happy
breakdown.
about your
I
work
was-
though?
Oh, I'm really proud of that.
Oh, there you go.
I was really good, but it
Yeah.
was again terrifying.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to have a nervous breakdown on camera? I drank, and I'm not exaggerating. I think I drank 10 venti coffees that day.
Just to like.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to act the anxiety,
Well, yeah.
so I just chemically gave it to myself, and then just acted on top of it. And it was
to
that
watch this
gut,
now.
that like coffee gut
Oh,
was bad. I think I had to take sleeping pills to sleep.
I was gonna say you can't with 10 of those. Are you crazy?
It was
no.
really nuts. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm excited to
But
see
that was good. And
Will
then
you
I
still
then-
what?
will I still act?
Yeah.
If people call me and it's something that's interesting, I audition like 2 or 3 times a year.
Okay.
Yeah, I got close to a couple of interesting projects in the few years past.
Yeah.
I got close to playing the Tiger King, I think.
What?
Yeah, true story.
That
Nobody
all
knows.
happened
a part of me
during the
grew up-
pandemic. That
I
basically
know.
happened when you shot this then. Or did that,
Yeah.
it aired during, no.
No,
Yeah,
it
it aired
it
right when
aired
we
at the
went into
beginning of the pandemic. The
quarantine,
original, the
yeah.
Tiger King doc,
Yes,
was
yes,
the
yes.
beginning of the pandemic.
But
Right.
then
And then they shot this series, which John Cameron Mitchell got the job. But,
during the pandemic.
Yes, yeah, later in the game.
Isn't that crazy? But it's crazy. I love that you're still doing it though. I love that you haven't like just been like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like I love that you're doing it all because you're talented at it all. You're just as bad at taking a compliment as I am. But like
Thank
you know, so it's really it's great that you're still doing it. That you haven't been like, I'm not going to do that at all.
Why would I? I mean, I still love to act.
I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people, once they do one, they just never, because I think maybe too, the industry puts you in a box.
A little
Sometimes.
bit, yeah. And look, I don't pursue, like I said, I audition literally 2 or 3 times a year. My agents are the same agents I've had since 6 months after I landed in LA.
Which, yeah.
So, and they like, which is
We
yours,
have
right?
the same
Yes.
agent.
Yeah. I forgot that.
Which
yeah.
was crazy.
So, but
When I
I
have
literally
when we
like,
found that out, yeah.
you know, I signed with them after my very first job in LA.
Yep.
And I've never left them, and so I made them a lot of money when I was on a series, and so they keep me on the register, and they the roster.
Yep.
And every once in a while they'll call and go, "Does this sound interesting?"
And you're like, yeah, sure.
And or no.
And then question, your character in Queer as Folk was named Emmett.
Mm-hmm.
Is the character Emmett played by Lachlan on our show, was that character specifically written because
No.
of you?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think that there's that clear a connection.
Okay.
Maybe. And by the way,
Congrats.
there's like, if you look at Krista's writing,
Yeah.
my circle of friends, my like inner circle, because
Yeah.
Krista and I, we have the same, inner circle. Our names are everywhere.
Really?
All the time. There's a Peter and everything. There's a
Okay,
Jana.
so
There's
we're-
a Bill.
got it.
There's a Mickey or Michaela. There's like the names. They just show up. They just show up.
Got it.
But that's true of every writer. Any writer's work, when you get to watch enough of it, you start to go, oh, she hates potatoes, or whatever it is. Like there's something, or oh, she's definitely got a friend named Maddie. For sure, for sure she does.
Do you ever get like insulted though when you see a character named Peter or Pete or something like that, and
yes.
then you're
You're
what are
like,
you trying to
he's
say?
an asshole.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Totally.
Okay.
Anything else, Maddie?
Anything else, Maddie, on there?
Wow, you guys really got into a lot of it, especially from what I'm seeing from all the fans. You covered some of the Tremit stuff. Did you have any favorite storylines from Tremit that you got to
Travis and Emmett.
Yeah.
to write?
I didn't know.
Don't insult
I'm
me.
sorry.
I'm not, first of all, do you
We're
think I
not
know?
all
Do you think I don't know
Emily,
what a
but-
ship name is?
Yeah.
Like, hi.
I'm sorry.
I'm from Queer as Folk.
No,
I'm
you-
original ship name.
No, and you are very on top of all the stuff. And all
of
the
the-
social
of the
media
young
stuff
things.
too. No, but you're on top of like you tell me things that happen on social media at times. I'm like, what?
Sometimes.
There's a lot of also appreciation that I'm seeing for a queer director and writer to be telling the Marina story from that perspective, and I also really appreciated that from a personal standpoint as well, because there was something about their dynamic that felt really authentic to queer relationships. And so do you pull from like your real life inspiration, or do you mostly just kind of like write true to what you think the characters are going through?
Both. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't write honest character stories that don't come out of you in some way. Like,
Yeah.
you can't. But I also, and by the way, I spent 5 years, writing for the Fosters, writing for a lesbian couple who were raising kids, and it wasn't just me, it was a team. And so, by no means was it just me. But you learn, you explore, you try things, they work, they don't, you get better at it, So, the main thing for me is just that people are messy, characters are messy, people are rarely one thing, and when you try to distill them down to one thing, you are doing the character, the story, and the actors a huge disservice.
Yeah.
There's like a saying you learn in acting school or acting training very early on, like you can't play more than one thing at once. And there is some truth to that, but I think you can layer things in a way that's really messy and human and compelling, and that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the ways that we're broken and the ways we're trying to heal, and the shit that we bring with us into the most the most casual of conversations. That is the human experience as far as I'm concerned, and that's the one I'm interested in exploring in entertainment.
And that's what makes it so interesting to watch.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't want to watch perfect people.
No.
I'm not interested.
No, because there's no such thing in the real world.
Whoa.
So,
Oh, shit.
So let's not pretend.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I think that's. Are we good?
Killed it.
I do. You have to leave us with one little tidbit though about. I know you've already said it about next week's episode. Like, is there a teaser you want to say? Obviously, tune in. You can't miss it.
Well, I just said I think it's the best Tower of TV I've ever directed. We have a Meredith Grey sighting, more than one.
Mm-hmm.
Meredith Grey joins us on what is her last night as a full-time series regular in the Grey's Station universe.
It's pretty cool that she came to our show.
It sure is. And the episode starts right here on Meredith Grey's face. I think the opening montage is
It's a good.
very proud of the opening montage.
It's a good opening montage. Yep.
I think every single character has kind of an amazing moment in the show. Like every single one has something really powerful and special. And I will tell you that when we screened the episode yesterday for the crew, like several members of like the Grips and the camera crew were like, dude, I was crying.
Which, just to be clear, the crew is the hardest to please.
Yeah, they're there all day, every day.
They see us acting all the time.
Yeah.
They half the time are like, okay, we get it.
Good job.
So to get them to like it. Okay. Well, amazing. So tune in next Thursday at 8 p.m. to watch Peter's best ever episode he's ever directed.
Yes.
And an episode I absolutely love.
Written by Xavier Sinnott. Props to
Yes.
Xavier, who wrote a killer script. My old Queer as Folk cohort, Sharon Gless, guest stars as Dottie.
Oh!
The ladies.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
So
forgot. I
if you
almost forgot
watch
about the
Sharon, if you
storyline.
watch Queer as Folk and you know Debbie from
Yep.
from Queer as Folk, Sharon Gless comes to join us on the Station 19. What a privilege it was to get to direct her.
I forgot that storyline. I remember
Two-time
that.
Emmy winner, two-time
Really
Golden
good.
Globe winner, Sharon Glass.
That's such a good element because that's the element
Do
of
you
the
know
show that
Sharon Glass has had 9 series as a principal actor? She's one shy of Betty White's record.
Betty White had 10. I had
Yeah.
no idea that Betty White even had 10.
Yeah.
What an accomplishment. What could
I
we
know.
all just...
Yep. Sharon Glass.
That's amazing.
Yeah, one of the first lesbian icons.
Really?
Well, Cagney and Lacey, they weren't lesbians, but like
okay.
they were lesbians. Let's be honest. They were lesbians. So, they're one of the first.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So,
It's an amazing episode. You don't want to miss it.
you really, really don't.
It's been amazing, Peter.
I don't mean to toot my own, but you really don't.
This is my last rewatch party because the show comes back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been awesome. I'm going to save this and not delete it, I promise.
Did you delete the last one?
I haven't, but I have done it in the past. So
Oh,
it's like
okay.
every time I'm like, please save live. Okay, bye everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your love and support.